We'll start with our first ferment of the kombucha. 4 cups of water pre-measured into there. 3/4 cup of sugar. 3 tablespoons. We're going to let this come to a boil, and then we'll remove it from the heat and let it steep for a good 15 minutes. And in the meantime, we will get our SCOBYs out of our jars here. Once I take these SCOBYs all out, which there's quite a few in here, and a new one that formed on top, I'm going to plop them into my non-reactive container, and then I'm going to reserve 2 cups of starter tea for the next batch of first ferment. With nice clean hands, I'm going to pull this fresh SCOBY off, and it's actually got a pretty good thickness to it. It's got a pretty good heft. Brand spanking new SCOBY, so it's really clear and very clean. It's pretty cool. And I'm gonna get all of the SCOBYs out of here, so I'm just gonna pull them out sort of a couple at a time here, let them drip off. It doesn't matter, they don't have to be like bone dry, but I'm just gonna try to leave behind as much of the starter tea as I can. So you might wonder if you should strain this, but actually for your starter tea, to start a new batch, it's actually good to have all of these little bits of yeast in there. So we'll even give that a stir before we pull some of it out. And then we're gonna pull out 2 cups to keep for our next batch of tea. So I'm just gonna give this tea another good stir, and then we're gonna give it a strain here through this fine mesh sieve. So now we have our empty vessel to start a second batch of our first fermentation of kombucha again. We have our 2 cups of starter tea that we took out of that last batch, and we still have the 4 cups of sweet tea that we just made fresh on the stove. That is still hot, so you can go ahead and pour those 4 cups of tea into your jar. And then we're going to want to add 8 cups of cold water to make sure that that cools down. Just to make sure that's not going to be too hot, because this is a living thing, right? It is the symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, so we want to make sure that, just like the sourdough, we're not using water that's too hot. We're going to get our 2 cups of starter tea in there, and you can give that another good stir around. And you can just pick out your best looking SCOBY at this point and decide who is going to be the fermenter of your next batch. So we're going to set that aside, and that's going to be there.